It was November 28th, 1967, in the small sun-soaked town of Mexia, Texas, a place where time seemed to move a little slower, and life was often measured in hard work and humble aspirations. The late autumn air carried a crispness, but the Texas sun warmed the streets, which were lined with modest homes and a handful of family-run businesses. On this day, in the early morning hours at the local hospital, Vickie Lynn Hogan was born. The hospital, Limestone Medical Center, wasn't a grand, sprawling institution, but rather a simple facility serving the surrounding rural communities. Inside, the rooms were basic, but the staff were kind, accustomed to welcoming the next generation of Mexia's residents into the world. Vickie Lynn arrived healthy, weighing in at just over 7 pounds, her cries echoing through the quiet maternity ward. Her mother, Virgie Mae Tabers, was a local woman who worked hard as a sheriff's deputy. Virgie's life revolved around discipline and duty, qualities she hoped to instill in her children. Vickie's father, Donald Eugene Hogan, wasn't present at the hospital. Their marriage was turbulent, and their paths would soon diverge, leaving Virgie to shoulder the responsibility of raising her daughter alone. Vickie Lynn was born into a modest family, with no brothers or sisters at the time, though her life would later include half-siblings from both her parents. Her early years were marked by the typical rhythms of small-town life. Her days spent playing in the dusty yards and running barefoot down the unpaved streets of Mexia. The town itself was a close-knit community where everyone seemed to know everyone else's business, and neighbors greeted each other with a nod or a wave. As a child, Vickie Lynn quickly developed a sense of independence. Virgie Mae, juggling the demands of work and single motherhood, instilled in her daughter a resilience that would serve her throughout her life. Vickie's early memories were likely filled with the scent of home-cooked meals and the sounds of country music drifting from the radio. By the time Vickie was ready for kindergarten, the little girl had already begun to stand out, not just because of her striking blonde hair and bright blue eyes, but because of her undeniable charm. Even at a young age, she had a knack for drawing attention, whether it was through her playful smile or the way she carried herself with an unexpected confidence. In the small town of Mexia, kindergarten wasn't just a milestone for children, it was a community event. Vickie Lynn joined her classmates in the local elementary school, her tiny hand clutching her mother's as she walked through the school's doors for the first time. These formative years in Mexia were the foundation of a life that would eventually take Vickie Lynn far from the dusty roads of her hometown and into a world of fame, glamour, and controversy. But in 1967, she was simply a baby girl born into a small Texas town, her story just beginning. But life wasn't always easy. With her mother juggling work as a single parent, Vickie learned early on to rely on her resilience and charm. By the time Vickie was in her teens, she began to stand out not just for her striking blonde hair and bright blue eyes, but also for her bold personality. However, the allure of small-town life started to wear thin. Feeling stifled and yearning for a different future, Vickie dropped out of high school at 14. Her dreams of something greater led her to seek independence, though it came with its own set of challenges. At 17, she married Billy Smith, a fry cook she'd met while working at a local restaurant. Their union, built on youthful hopes rather than stability, quickly faced the strain of adult responsibilities. Shortly after the wedding, Vickie became pregnant. In January 1982, she gave birth to her son, Daniel Wayne Smith. Motherhood brought joy, but also immense pressure. By then, her marriage to Billy was deteriorating. Struggling financially and emotionally, the young couple eventually separated, leaving Vickie to raise Daniel on her own. Determined to provide for her son, Vickie took on various jobs, including working as a waitress and at Walmart. But it wasn't enough to make ends meet. She eventually found work at a strip club in Houston, a decision born out of necessity rather than choice. Under the stage lights, she adopted the name Nikki and quickly discovered that her beauty and charisma could command attention. The strip club was a world away from the dusty streets of Mexia, filled with loud music, flashing lights, and the promise of quick cash. Though it was far from glamorous, it gave her a glimpse into a life where she could rewrite her story. In the early 1990s, Vickie's fortunes began to shift. She submitted photos of herself to Playboy magazine, and her striking looks quickly caught the attention of the editors. In 1992, she became a Playboy playmate, appearing on the cover and in a centerfold spread. Her transformation from small-town girl to a national sensation was meteoric. As she embraced the name Anna Nicole Smith, she began to carve out an identity that would captivate the public. Her voluptuous figure and platinum blonde hair drew comparisons to Marilyn Monroe, and her fame grew rapidly. With her newfound celebrity status, Anna Nicole landed modeling contracts, most notably with Guess Jeans. Her image graced billboards and magazine spreads, solidifying her place as a pop culture icon. But the transition from small-town obscurity to international stardom came with its own challenges. The pressure to maintain her image and the scrutiny of fame began to take a toll. It was during this period of rising fame that Anna Nicole met J. Howard Marshall, an oil billionaire in his late 80s. Their meeting occurred at a Houston strip club where she was performing. Marshall, captivated by her beauty and charm, began showering her with gifts and attention. Despite their significant age difference, the two developed a close relationship. For Anna Nicole, who had spent much of her life struggling to make ends meet, Marshall's generosity offered financial security and a glimpse into a world of luxury she had never known. In 1994, the couple married, sparking headlines and widespread public interest. The union was met with skepticism, with many questioning Anna Nicole's intentions. However, she maintained that their relationship was based on genuine affection. Marshall's wealth and their unconventional love story made them a media sensation, propelling Anna Nicole further into the spotlight. Their marriage marked a turning point in Anna Nicole's life, intertwining her path with fame, fortune, and controversy. It was a dramatic chapter in a story that began in the quiet town of Mexia, Texas, and had now reached the heights of international attention. When J. Howard Marshall passed away in 1995, Anna Nicole found herself at the center of a legal storm that would dominate the headlines for years to come. Marshall's death set off a bitter feud over his billion-dollar estate, with his son, E. Pierce Marshall, contesting Anna Nicole's claim to a significant portion of the fortune. The court battle was fierce, with accusations flying on both sides. Anna Nicole argued that Howard had promised her a share of his wealth, while Pierce insisted she was entitled to nothing. The case became a media spectacle, capturing public fascination and cementing Anna Nicole's status as a controversial figure. The legal battles took a toll on Anna Nicole, both emotionally and financially. While she fought in courtrooms, her personal life was unraveling. Her struggles with addiction became increasingly apparent, and she faced mounting criticism from the media. Anna Nicole's weight fluctuations became a focal point for tabloid headlines, with harsh commentary that only added to her struggles. Behind the scenes, she grappled with the pressures of fame and the challenges of raising her son Daniel as a single mother. In the early 2000s, Anna Nicole attempted to reclaim her narrative. She starred in her own reality TV show, The Anna Nicole Show, which offered a glimpse into her chaotic and often unpredictable life. The show was polarizing, with some viewers charmed by her larger-than-life personality and others critical of its portrayal of her struggles. Despite the mixed reception, it brought Anna Nicole back into the spotlight and introduced her to a new generation of fans. While the show allowed her to showcase her humor and charm, it also exposed the difficulties she faced behind closed doors. Her dependency on prescription medication grew more apparent, as did the strain of the ongoing legal battles. The case over Marshall's estate dragged on for more than a decade, with rulings swinging back and forth between lower courts and appeals. In 2002, a California court awarded Anna Nicole $88 million from the estate, but subsequent legal challenges reduced the amount to nothing. Adding to her personal turmoil, Anna Nicole's public image suffered due to constant scrutiny from tabloids. Her weight, a frequent subject of cruel speculation, fluctuated drastically over the years. She became a spokesperson for a weight loss product, Trim Spa, in an attempt to regain control of the narrative. While her endorsement brought her some financial stability, it also highlighted the public's obsession with her appearance. Despite the challenges, Anna Nicole's resilience and determination to support her family remained evident. Tragedy struck in 2006 when Anna Nicole gave birth to her daughter, Danny Lynn, in the Bahamas. The arrival of a new child should have been a joyful occasion, but it was overshadowed by unimaginable heartbreak. Just 3 days after Danny Lynn's birth, Anna Nicole's son Daniel died suddenly while visiting her in the hospital. The cause of death was ruled as a combination of methadone and antidepressants, a tragic accident that devastated Anna Nicole. Daniel had been her anchor throughout her tumultuous life, and his loss left a void she struggled to fill. The death of Daniel marked a turning point for Anna Nicole. Her grief was palpable, and her behavior became increasingly erratic in the months that followed. The media's relentless coverage of her struggles only compounded her pain, turning her personal tragedy into a public spectacle. Despite this, she continued to fight for her daughter's future, determined to protect Danny Lynn from the chaos that had defined her own life. As Anna Nicole navigated the challenges of motherhood and grief, the legal battles over Howard Marshall's estate continued. In 2006, the case reached the U.S. Supreme Court, which ruled in Anna Nicole's favor, allowing her to pursue her claim in federal court. However, the victory was bittersweet, as the prolonged legal fight and personal losses had taken an irreparable toll on her health and well-being. By the end of 2006, Anna Nicole's life was a whirlwind of legal disputes, media scrutiny, and personal tragedy. She relocated to the Bahamas, seeking refuge from the relentless attention and hoping to create a stable environment for her daughter. But even in this new setting, The pressures of fame and the weight of her grief followed her. As she faced the dawn of 2007, Anna Nicole remained a figure of fascination and controversy, her life a testament to the extremes of triumph and heartbreak that defined her journey. On February 8th, 2007, Anna Nicole was found unresponsive in her suite at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Despite efforts to revive her, she was pronounced dead later that day. The official cause of death was ruled as an accidental overdose, attributed to a lethal combination of prescription medications. Her passing marked the end of a life filled with triumphs and tribulations, leaving behind a legacy that continues to spark fascination and debate. In the wake of her death, the fight for Danny Lynn's custody took center stage. Larry Burkhead emerged as the child's primary caregiver, and Danny Lynn inherited the remnants of her mother's estate. The legal battles over J. Howard Marshall's fortune, however, remained unresolved, adding another layer of complexity to Anna Nicole's already tumultuous story. Anna Nicole Smith's life was a study in contrasts, from her humble beginnings in Mexia, Texas, to her rise as a global icon, and ultimately to her tragic demise. Her story continues to captivate audiences, serving as a cautionary tale about the perils of fame and the enduring human desire for recognition and love.